in a stock pot I have a piece of gammon. Now gammon is just a piece of pork that's been cured with salts, and it's basically going to be boiled. So what I have in my pot here is just cold water brought to a simmer. In there I've added 1 large carrot, 2 leeks which I've roughly chopped, 1 onion which I've quartered, and on top of that I've actually thrown in a few peppercorns. And now all I'm going to do is just crush up to release the oils and the flavours 2 large bay leaves, and in that goes into the pot. And what we're going to do now is bring that to the boil and let that simmer for about 2 hours. And then we're going to use that to make some stock, pea and ham soup from the stock there. And then we're going to take the skin off the pork and I'm going to roast that. Here is my gammon that I've been boiling for the last, simmering for the last 2 hours. You see it flecked with peppercorns and the stock we've just created from boiling it all together. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this cool, and then we'll drain this. We'll keep the stock, and then I'll start to peel the fat off, cut a diamond shape on it, and get this ready for roasting. But first you need to leave this to cool for quite a little while. You peel the skin off, this gelatinous piece here, we don't want that, we're going to throw that away. Just trimming off bits I don't want. You want a fairly decent bit of fat on it, so what you do, draw lines down to create a diamond pattern. Take some cloves, take whole cloves, and in your diamond pattern just press the clove in. Now clove, it's got a spiky end to it, and that's the spiky end we're stabbing into the diamond pattern. All this is going to do is enhance the flavour. So continue to stud. So you can see our dish now. We've scored the pattern on the fat, and all I've done is stud cloves around the diamond pattern. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make a glaze to put over the fat so that it caramelizes in the oven, and then we're going to bake this for another 25 to 30 minutes in the oven, basting it as we go. So in my bowl I put 1 tablespoon of Coleman's English mustard. This is the powder variety. Then I'm going to squeeze in a couple of tablespoons of honey. Now the honey is going to caramelize, and if we get the oven too hot it will start to burn on the gammon that we've just boiled, and we don't want that, so we need to be careful when we put this in the oven. We need to baste things lightly as we go along. We don't just want to let it sit in the oven and just char. That's 1 tablespoon. That's about 2 tablespoons just by eye. Okay, put the lid back on. Just going to use a teaspoon, give this a mix. The honey's quite thick because it's been sitting in the cold cupboard. warming up now. Now what I've done, I've let my honey down. And what I mean by letting down, I mean I've added a little bit of hot water to it to break down the sugar crystals and allow the honey to mix with the English mustard powder. This will thicken as it cools. Another thing I'm going to do to my soon to be roasted gammon is I'm going to take a little splash of orange juice and I'm going to put about a cup of orange juice in my roasting pan. So about a cup of orange juice in my roasting pan at the bottom. I've got a nice mustard sauce now in my bowl. All I need to do now is paint the sauce on the glazing. So what I'm going to do is use a cooking brush, basting brush. So get a good dollop on your brush. And all we're going to do is dab this mustard sauce on the top of our ham. And all we need to do now, I'm going to keep some back for glazing, additional glazing, once this is in the oven. All we need to do now is put this into the oven. At 180, and just roast this for about 20 minutes. It's already cooked, it's already warm from where we've taken it out of the stock juices that we boiled this in about an hour or so ago. All we need to do now is just put this in the oven. So here is a lovely piece of roasted gammon. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover this for 10 minutes, let it stand and rest while the rest of the vegetables are simmering in the oven. And then we'll serve it up on a plate and see what it tastes like. Here we have our beautiful roasted gammon, braised red cabbage, and simple roasted potatoes and carrots. Hope you enjoy our gammon meal.